anger is not wrong in itself. It is how we manage anger that may bring the outcomes that either we wanted or that may be destructive and that may cause a lot of harm. And so let us take a look at how we can deal with anger or how we can manage anger, because these matters are a great deal. Welcome to Reggenerate once again, where we focus on mental and emotional well-being as well as personal improvement. My name is Regina, and today I would like us to look at how we can manage our anger in order to be able to avoid any destructive or distraction that may come from lack of management of anger, and see how we can benefit from it, because anger is an emotion that you cannot entirely avoid. Anger tells you that something is wrong, that you need to take action. It is something that tells you things are not the way they should be, and therefore you need to pay attention. It can cause you to fight for your rights and the rights of others, but it can also cause you to say or do things that are destructive, things that you would regret later. So anger is not wrong in itself. It is how we manage anger that may bring the outcomes that either we wanted or that may be destructive and that may cause a lot of harm. And so let us take a look at how we can deal with anger or how we can manage anger, because these matters are a great deal. One, when we look at anger, we know that anger can come from all sorts of corners. Externally, anger will generate from unfair or unjust treatment. It can come from, being blamed for things that you didn't do or things that you're not responsible for. It can come from the way we think. If you look at something in a certain way, that can also cause you to get angry. So it can be from external forces, but it can also be generated from within. So externally, unfair or unjust treatment from others, abuse, or situations that are not fair. It can also come from situations that are tense, or any generally stressful situations can and have the capacity to cause us to be angry. Any situation that causes us irritation or any kind of discomfort. It doesn't matter whether it is at home, at work, on the streets, on the roads, in traffic. External forces have the capacity to cause us to be angry, and the anger, the degree of anger can vary from just minor irritations to major rage. Internally, as I said before, it can come from within. It can come from how we think or how we look at things. So internal factors can be things like self-talk. If you start talking to yourself if you think about a situation and you start talking negatively about to yourself, those internal dialogues that we sometimes engage in. And I'm sure many of us have noticed that sometimes when you think about something, an occurrence that happened or a situation that you experienced that was unpleasant, and you start talking to yourself about it, you can actually find yourself getting angry. So it can be from self-talk. It can also be from your perception, from your viewpoint of something. If you have, if there's a situation that you looked at in a certain way, from your own, from how you look at it, how you perceive it, it can generate anger. It may not necessarily be the situation itself. It's the way you look at it, the way you look at a situation. So it can be from just how you looked at that situation can cause you to become angry. Anger can also be generated from rigid expectations. If you set very high standards, if you set standards that are, extremely high to achieve for yourself or for others, and you do not reach those expectations, or those expectations are not met by those around you, or those standards are too high or unrealistic, this is going likely to generate anger. It's something that can generate anger from within. So rigid or unrealistically high expectations, the outcome of that is likely to generate anger. So it's important to be flexible when you're setting expectations, or when you're setting standards, both for yourself and also for others. Stressful situations obviously will have the capacity to cause anger. So everyday situations, if you're in traffic and you didn't expect to find yourself in a jam, and maybe you're getting late, or you have a customer who is really, putting pressure on you, or you have someone who is sick, some family member who is sick, and those stressful situations sometimes can generate, so when you're facing stressful situations and something else now comes and irritates you, or something just minor that would generally not cause you to be angry, because you're already stressed, it can now cause you to really just get angry, as opposed to if you're just relaxed and calm. So stressful situations are also likely to generate anger in you. So we have agreed that anger is not necessarily a bad thing. It is how we handle it, and how we, how we deal with it. But there are situations when anger can become a problem. And we're going to look at a few areas where you know that your anger is becoming a problem. One of those areas is when it is too intense. When anger is very intense, the intensity of that anger is extremely high. And especially when you compare it in proportion to whatever caused it. So if, for instance, if someone uh, cut you, cut in front of you in traffic, uh, but you become extremely angry, and you're hooting and you're swearing, and you start chasing them, down the road, that intensity is a problem. So if it is too intense, and especially if it happens every now and then, if it happens a lot, the intensity of anger can be a problem. The other one is the frequency of the anger. If you find that you're getting angry very, very often, um, then that can be a problem. You notice that every now and then, even in situations where you didn't really call for anger, you find yourself angry at home or at work. You're frequently angry. So the intensity and the frequency can be an indicator that your anger is becoming a problem. If you get angry and your anger lasts too long, so if anger is lasting longer than it is necessary, then that could be a problem. So because even when we get angry, generally it eases off, especially if we do stuff that causes the anger to dissipate, or if you address it, it wears off with time. You just, it can last a little longer, or it can probably just go within a very short time. But if you find that it's lasting much longer than necessary, then that's a problem. If your anger causes you to become aggressive, violent, if you probably find yourself assaulting people or damaging stuff around you, if it causes you generally to be aggressive, that is a problem. Then your anger is a problem. It causes you, it causes you to be aggressive. So aggression is a sign that your anger is becoming a problem, because generally obviously you're going to hurt people, you're going to destroy relationships, you're going to destroy property, yours or others, and it can cause major life changes. You can lose your job, for instance, or you can be taken to court because of assault. So when anger causes you to become aggressive, it's a problem. And one of the other points leading to that is if it negatively impacts your relationship. If anger causes you to lose friends, if it causes you to have tension within family or relatives, if it causes relationships at work to really, get bad, then that is a problem. So if not checked, it is going to cause major negative changes in your life. So how do you manage anger? How do you then deal with this anger so that it doesn't become a problem, or so that as much as you can't avoid it, you're able still to deal with life as it happens?